Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I'll provide you a simple walkthrough for this Sony A350. So basically, this is a 14.2 megapixel camera. So this camera is actually pretty decent and all in terms of its picture quality. So it's like can compete with the 500D, 550D, Canon 550D at that time and all this. And this was quite decent for the photo wise, and it comes with this kit lens of an 18 to 70mm lens. So this lens and all in terms of picture wise is pretty alright. I would say like 6 upon 10, 7 upon 10. And this camera is using this Sony. This is the Sony NPFM 500H battery. So yep, this is actually a pretty long lasting battery and all. So based on my experience of using it, this battery can really last very long. Like if you never shoot like anything, or like you just shoot once a week and there's like about 50 photos per week, you can last you almost 3 months. That is how long lasting it is. So anyway, this charger and all is this using this two like a kind of pin that you put it in, one the type of charger that you place it in. Unfortunately, I do not have it now with me. So anyway, the charger is also quite rare nowadays to get it. So you just put it in the battery. It's basically just follow the shape of it. The word Sony here is just like a reference that you can just use it. Just put it in, then you see a red light up here. And this camera is using this CF card. So yes, which is like pretty hard to find now, this. So you just have to put it in. Then you just press it down. Then this thing will pop up. Just close it in. So to turn on the camera, it's just this button here. Switch here, you just swipe to the left. So there you go, you'll be greeted with all those like screen and all these things. There's a battery percentage right here on the left. And then this is single mode, standard. This is how many photos you can take. Then there is this DR, I think it's like for the the light adjustment, ISO auto. This is your no flash, 1/15 shutter speed, and f3.5 is the aperture value, and then this is the exposure compensation. So if you want to see your live view everything, you just have to switch up here. So now you are in live view now. So technically, yeah, so you're in live view now. Because the only thing that doesn't work is because sometimes you put over your hand over the sensor here, you can see that like sometimes it can block up. Anyways, so this is how it looks like, the screen, the battery percentage, standard quality, image large, 505, how many image you can take and all these things. This is basically like the noise, the anti-handshake, everything. You see, if I can shake more, you can see the bar increase up. So if your hand is very steady like right now, you can see that it's much lesser. Then there is this exposure compensation, the wheel here, the aperture speed and the shutter speed. So to adjust the exposure compensation, you just press this button, and there's this ring that you can, like over here, you can just like move it around. You move it to the right to overexpose, to move it to the left is to underexpose your image and all. Then there's this FN function. So this is basically the function where you can adjust out everything, like the metering mode, everything. So you want it to be a multimeter, average meter, or spot meter. Then if you press this function button again, you can adjust the autofocus area, whether you want to be large, single, or multi. Then you can change up the autofocus mode. Autofocus S means like I think overall, and it is continuous and all these things. So yep. Then there's a white balancing can adjust, auto white balancing, sun, and all these things. So the white balancing can adjust like to how extended you want. Then over here we got a D range optimizer. I think it's basically like when you take a photo in the shadow in the dark, then it like compensate with it. And this is basically to zoom in to the photo, so you can zoom in 1.4, 2, and all these things, like to look in closer, but not forgetting that you have a zoom lens here to zoom in further and all these things. So basically, if you are 18mm is the wide angle, 70mm is the full length. And this is the self timer continuous, so you can take a single shot, continue per shot, or 10 seconds self timer. They got 2 seconds and 10 seconds. Then over here, they got a mode dial. There's no flash mode, portrait mode, landscape mode. This is like close-up shots and all these things. A macro. This is the sports mode, sunset mode, flash in the dark, manual, shutter priority, aperture priority, and program mode. So if you go for auto, then you have to raise the flash up for this camera, which you just take up here. Then basically, yep. Right now it's trying to autofocus, but because I'm using first, the distance between the camera and the table is very nearby, so the autofocus will be challenging. So there you go. And this is the viewfinder, so basically you just look through the viewfinder, the thing will just turn it off and all. But now I just off the viewfinder because right now it's in this live view. Then this is the optical stabilization mode, so I just put it as on. So if you raise out the flash, you can access the flash settings like auto flash, fast flash, slow single, slow rear, and all these things. Then this is the display button. Here you can just adjust your display around. So you don't want to have so many words, you can just have it. Then to view back the photo taken, you just press this button. Then you move this button left and right to view through the photos you've taken. Then if you don't like the photos, you just press this button, delete, yes. Then to go back to shooting mode, you just hard press here, the shutter button. Then you back to shooting mode. This is basically the ISO button. You have 100, 1006, 3002 maximum. Then AEL is the auto lock focus. Yep, it's quite a simple camera. So let's go through the mode style again. It's like manual mode. We can adjust the shutter speed. So basically this is the button to adjust your shutter speed. Then if you adjust your aperture, you have to press this button. Then you have to adjust. To adjust your aperture again, you press this AV button, aperture value, then you move this ring dial here. You move it to the left, it is to increase, and you move it to the right, it is to like decrease the aperture size to f20 like that. Then you can see that the image is very dark. It's because it's like underexposed, so you must select the correct exposure. So in this image here, it just show you that what the image will capture and all this. Then if you go to shutter priority, you use this one. You set your aperture value. Then you use the shutter speed and all these things. Sorry, you will just set the shutter speed, and then they will change the aperture accordingly to the scenario that you given. Then if you go for aperture priority, is where you adjust the aperture. Then the shutter speed will change accordingly, depending on liking. Because now there's flash, because the flash is synchro at 1/60. So if I off the flash down, you can see that whenever I change my aperture, the shutter speed will change. So yep, that's all for today's simple walkthrough for this camera and all these things. So thank you very much for watching this video. Give a like, subscribe to my channel, and follow me for more contents on cameras, and I'll see you soon. Bye.